Hey guys, here we are for Wisdom 33, Love, Love, Love. And the reason I've waited to do this one is because Steve and I have booked a night away and we're staying. Let me press the back so you can see the sun setting there. This is the gorgeous JW Marriott Hotel in Phuket, and it's been a huge part of Steve's and my life. We've come here many times before kids, when I was pregnant. I think the last time I was here, I was 8 months pregnant with Lex, and then of course we've come back with the boys, and we've always just, I don't know, there's something about this place, we love it. So if you've never been to the JW Marriott Phuket, definitely recommend it, it's gorgeous. But of course I can't talk about love, and see the light's better now, and I can't talk about love without bringing my love. And here he is, Mr. Steve Johnson. Oh, that's a weird light, isn't it?
It's okay. We can make it work. So why has it taken this long for you to introduce me?
Because I wanted to do this one with you, and I knew that we had this date.
Right.
And I wanted to do it while we're here, because it's such a special place to us, but also because, yeah, talking about love is... Who else am I going to do it with, right? But first question. My wisdom so far, thank you so much. You've not just been a great supporter, but you've actually been watching them all, right?
Everyone. Everyone.
And it's been a lot of
fun.
fun.
Thank you for adding that pressure to my life.
Which has been your favourite?
Oh, there's so many. I really liked the one the other day. It's okay to say to stop.
To walk away.
To walk away.
Yeah. I think it's a good lesson, that one. I've had in life, for sure.
And it's something, what I liked about it is everybody, I guarantee that watched it, is going, yeah, I can relate to that. That's like, absolutely, this is toxic, this relationship or this business relationship or something.
Yeah,
It's
or just walking away from a passion, you know. I think that's a really hard thing to do, because, you know, we're told to chase our passions all our lives, right? And I think sometimes, you know, it's okay for a passion to finish too, so you can discover new ones.
There's too many people holding on to old stuff, and I need to move on, I think. So yeah, that was my personal favourite.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so, but I've liked all of them.
Oh, thank you, Tom.
Everyone.
Anyway, so we're here to talk about love, and this has been one I've been thinking about for a long time. Like, how do you talk about it, right? Because I can't presume to give people advice about love. First of all, I'm not an expert, but the other thing is, it's just so different for everybody and what everybody needs, right? So when I talk to Steve about it, we want this to be a video for our boys, and if other people get something out of it, that's awesome, right? But so take it for what it is, but this is for Lex and Jax, and it's a message to you guys when you grow up and become men and you choose the love of your life, and we don't care who it is, what sex they are, we don't care, as long as you're happy, we'll be happy, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So try to work out, you know, the difference between you and I is, I was single from 24 to 33 when I met Steve, and you weren't. You were single, what, 18 months before we met?
Yeah.
But before that, you've been pretty much in relationships, right?
Yeah.
And not particularly good ones. Mine pre you were fantastic. I always feel grateful for the beautiful men that have come through my life, but mostly for you. It's 17 years. 17.
Thanks for that.
But 17 years now, right?
Yeah.
Together, right?
Yeah.
It's incredible. Less for murder.
Didn't get it right in 17 years, there'd be something wrong with
Yeah.
it.
And, you know, like, we certainly hasn't been perfect. We've had lots of really tough times. Thanks, Lex. You've given us lots of tough times. And Jax, you're coming into your own too, mate. Don't you worry.
Yeah, awesome. Appreciate it.
But also in financial, business, chasing dreams, hasn't always been easy. But, you know, I think we've stuck together through it. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. So if you talk about love, I mean, one of my first things that I think about is teamwork. You've got to act as part of a team, and that's the everyday mundane stuff. That's the major stuff, like moving countries
and the shitty stuff. And
especially when, I mean, we've been fortunate enough to live overseas for a long time. So there's nobody else. The closest family's like 7.5 hours away.
Yeah,
so,
it's like, hold my hand. It's like it's us two in the world, right? Us two.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think without working as part of a team, doesn't mean to say that you're both the same.
And we bring different skills to the table.
We certainly do, Andrea. Yes. Andrea's kind of up here somewhere, as a cloud cuckoo land. Kind of a little bit levitated more down to kind of make it happen. So Yeah, I don't
so
know how we
that's a
got
good one.
onto that, but that's kind of when I think about. I think teamwork is really, really important.
Yeah, so boys, one of the things that's always been really important to me, so I had a vision of your dad in my head for many, many years before I met him, and obviously I didn't know it was him, but I was uncompromising in that vision, and I knew exactly what I wanted, and the number one thing was I needed to find someone who had the same or similar values to me. And values are things like, for me, are things like they had to be a person of their word. That was really important to me. They had to be generous, not just financially generous, but generous in spirit, generous with their time, generous with their service towards others within our community. And you've definitely got that in spades, and I love that about you. Integrity is something that's really important to me. So I'm very anchored in my values, and I always have been. And it's one of the things that I always advise young people who come and work for me to be really anchored. Like, it's so easy to get knocked off your values, so I always suggest it's something that's important. And so a giving person, a serving person, just a kind-hearted person. They're the kind of core values. What have you got? Any others that you would add from a values perspective that is important to you?
There's so many, unless you share the same fundamental values, then you're probably doomed to failure.
Yeah.
If one of you wants to go over there and do this all the time, the other one wants to do that all the time, in whatever way, shape or form that may be, it's probably never going to end right. It doesn't mean to say that
it brings conflict in, right?
It doesn't mean to say that you live in each other's pockets.
Yeah.
But you have to share those same core things.
Yeah, and I remember when we first met, that was challenging because I've been by myself for so long that I was used to just doing what I wanted to do, and I had to learn how to not rail myself in or change who I was, but just be conscious that I was part of a team now, and I had to be aware of the impact anything I was doing was having on you, right?
Right, but that's a really interesting point, because it took you a little while to sort of learn how to live with me. It took me a while as well, for very different reasons. Right. I was very distrusting, because I'd obviously not had very good sort of like experiences, and we come from sort of different sort of backgrounds on that side of things. So you have to be courageous in love. If something's if it's worth it, then give it a go, because you'll never know.
Yeah.
And whether that's
and Steve really
whatever that may be.
But you really threw your hat in the ring right in that first week, and
we don't need to go into it here. But
but it really it freaked me out for a while. Like, I was like, oh crap, but that's. I mean, you didn't leave. You were going to leave the country. You had all sorts of plans in place, right?
But you got to be courageous in love.
Which is my next point. Is don't be scared of love.
Right.
Which is the same as being courageous in love. I think that's really, really important. Like, if you're not scared of it, you can put yourself fully into it. And I think that's amazing. I also needed someone who was as adventurous as me, had been to some crazy ass places around the world, had seen life at its absolute core, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we both bring to the table. Neither of us are naive about the world, and we actively put ourselves in situations where we see the worst as well as the best, but we also see the best in the worst.
I think generally speaking, most people kind of marry their equal on many different levels.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It will be rare, for someone who's had like a massive life, usually to marry someone who maybe hasn't, because those core values that we're just talking about are obviously very different. Right?
Yeah, I think those marriages really struggle when someone needs to live a bigger, more adventurous life, and they're with someone who doesn't. I think those marriages really struggle because one of the people has to give up something.
Right.
And I think so. Yeah. So I've really appreciated.
We got a last one.
No, I've got a couple more.
Okay.
Being just courageous in life, not being scared to take the leap of faith and take chances, and not always know what the answer's going to be or what the end point's going to be. And I know that I really push you with that one. I push you way out of your comfort zone with that one, and I really appreciate the fact that you do it with me. So thank you.
Telling me.
Someone funny.
Never a dull moment.
So funny. A sense of humour is everything. I mean, we spend so much of our time just sitting together every night on our beautiful balcony, overlooking the mountain, and we laugh. And we laugh so much.
But we don't laugh. But we laugh at weird stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it's not. So you got to share that same kind of like sense of humour.
Yeah, especially if you've got one. And both our boys do, right?
and you'll see sort of really close couples can almost have conversations with each other from the other side of the room, just with like body gestures or sort of facial gestures or something like that, and that comes from spending that real sort of time together as that sort of team, I think, and sharing the same values and the same stuff that you like.
Yeah. I was also looking for someone who's really devoted, not just to me, not selfishly devoted for my benefit, but because I'm devoted, right? I love how devoted Steve is, not just to me, but to the boys and to our community. I think that's a really beautiful quality that you have.
Something that's I could do more on that.
No, oh God, no, more. God.
No, you've got to have that tightness as a team.
Yeah.
Otherwise, because there's no point in one person trying to hold a family together. You both got to be in it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, we do that pretty well, I think.
I think so. I needed obviously to find someone who wasn't intimidated by me, by my life, by my way of being, by the way I speak, by anything that I've done or I will do. And so I think for a lot of women, especially strong women, I've had many conversations with strong women who think that it's time that maybe they need to start softening themselves or changing who they are to be more attractive to men. And to all those women, I just want to say, please don't. Just be you. Be you. He will turn up. He will turn up. And he's worth waiting for. Because
the moment you start changing yourself to mould to somebody else's ideal, it's not usually a good sign.
Yeah, but for strong women, you know, it's we need strong women in the world, and if you're gonna be part of a couple, I think finding someone who's not scared of that is really important. And then the final thing is someone who I think successful marriage is someone who they become your best friend, and you know.
So we were talking about this in the car coming here earlier, and I think if you live away from the traditional sort of hometown where maybe you grew up, you have to be with your best friend, because as we said before, usually you got friends and family that are a long way away, and your family becomes your sort of community around you.
Yeah.
I know lots of people who are very happy to sort of stay more sort of localised, and their partner is absolutely not their best friend.
Yeah.
And
I think that's you know that's fine for some people.
That's fine as long as it works.
It's not what.
If there's conflict, because every Tuesday night it's pool night, and she doesn't like
bingo.
it, and he goes or she goes to bingo, then that's not sort of being with your sort of best friend. But that's finding a balance that works.
Yeah.
For you if you're in that kind of situation, which is.
I mean, we pretty much
roundabout way of saying something.
Almost do. We pretty much almost do everything together. So a long time ago, I wrote a blog called The Recipe for Love, and the recipe for love is basically basically what I discovered in life is people were spending all their time thinking about the people that they'd been with before that they hated, and they kept attracting the same people into their lives, right? And you know, what you think of, you attract, right? So my recipe for love is really just think about the person that, if you're out there looking, seeking, feeling lonely, think about the person that you want. Think about it in all ways.
Because they pop up in the strangest places.
Yeah, in a bar in Singapore.
glad you remembered that place.
And we got married there, Dallas. Of course I remember.
No, but you got to remain open to it. You got to remain open to it as well.
Yeah.
And you got to keep your eyes open left and right, because you will meet folk in the strangest circumstances. Yeah,
and don't let the past. If you've lost trust from the past, don't let that hamper your future, because.
Yeah, be courageous.
There's someone out there for everyone. I really believe that, and when you find that true one, I've seen people meet their true love, and it's so transformative for everybody. So boys, one day you're gonna bring someone home that we'll be meeting for the first time, and we don't care who they are, we'll love them anyway, because you're our boys and that's your choice.
They're gonna have to tell us a joke though.
Yeah, they better be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, there you go. Wisdom number 33. Love, love, love. Steve wanted to do this in 5 minutes. I knew that was impossible.
Sorry, 14 minutes, 28 seconds.
It doesn't matter.
Andrew said, whatever you do, don't ramble.
Yes. Who rambled? I've been. There's a lot to talk about with love, right? Believe in love. It's worth it, and it's magical when you've got that person by your side that you can just face it all with. That's what true love is, I think. Anyway, see you guys.
See you.